I don't know if we're live or not because it doesn't tell me when we're live or not. I think we're live. I think we're live. What up, everybody? I think we're live. All right, so I'm just assuming that we're live. Let me check my my computer. This is a real awkward moment. I think we're live. Oh, there we are, dude. All right, so we are live. What's up, everybody? Blah, blah. Yep, okay, what's up, everybody? It's Simon Benny here. I'm excited to hang out with you guys tonight. Holy freaking cow, I'm super pumped. Tonight is a nice little Q&A for everybody. So what I want you guys to do, you gotta do me a couple favors before we get too far into this bad boy. One, how does the audio sound? Does it sound decent? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it awesome? Let me know. Second is, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. These live streams have been popping off this year, and I'm super excited for them to be popping off. Also, we just hit 40,000 subscribers in just over a year. I'm blown away. So we started YouTube in about November, December, January, February. What? So we're like literally into the YouTube game for about 15 months-ish, you know, if my math is right. So 15 months, we've done an incredible ability to just connect with as many people as possible. But I'm just like humbled and extremely thankful for you guys to give me the opportunity to me to like be nerdy with you guys, you know what I mean? That's the concept of the whole channel, is just to talk about snowboarding, try to make you as awesome as possible. And that's obviously why you're here tonight, is to say what's up, to get a little nerdy, and to hopefully get some answers. Questions answered, question answered. So if you guys got any questions, definitely pop them in the chat. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update of what is happening, kind of updates on what's going on in my life, kind of just a general like, what's up, dudes type of thing. And then I'm gonna hop back into the chat. I'm gonna scroll back up. I saw some really good questions a little bit earlier. I wanna get as many questions as possible answered. Now, if you guys want to skip the line, then you guys can donate. Donation allows me to answer your question a little bit, probably a little bit more in detail, as well as faster, especially as we start popping off and getting a lot of people in the chat. Sometimes I have to skip around. Sometimes I miss your question. So definitely consider just donating. If you use the tip jar or the little link in the chat up above, that definitely helps because it puts a little animation on the screen. It's pretty fire. Also, if you guys are interested, I got a cool little deal I want to present to you guys. If you guys are interested and you guys want to pick up any stickers, I got some Killing It stickers. So I got some, boom, Killing It stickers, really sick for the helmets. I also got these guys. I also got some really cool like hand plant variation stickers. So what I'm gonna do, if you guys order stickers within the next 24 hours, I'm gonna hook you guys up with a free sticker. So let's say you buy this sticker, then I'm gonna hook you up with this one. If you buy this one, I'm gonna give you a different one. So if you guys are interested in that, I get emails of when you ordered. So in the next 24 hours, starting right now, I'll hook you up with a free sticker, kind of buy one, get one free. If you buy 6, I'm still gonna hook you up with one, but yeah, hopefully you guys are down with that. Could be really sick. So on that note, you guys are amazing. So let's dive into this. If you've never been here before, I have a little computer screen over here. I got you guys here, and I got another computer screen over here. So if I'm not directly looking at you, it's because I'm looking at another computer screen. Let's see. Dude, there's a whole bunch of you guys in here. What's up? Doggo, Kyle, Callahan, Rusty Nail Riders, the boy. What up, dog? Yon, Brady, Burton, what up, dog? We got Flying Brian in here, by the way. What up, dog? Borealis, what up, dude? You popping off in the chat before the chat even popped off. Let's go. We also got Greg, Mick, who's been a huge supporter. We also have Chris Butler was in the chat super early. We had some really good questions really early. Wanted to try to get to these questions, dudes. I'm hyped for today. So usually these live streams go on for about an hour-ish. If the chat's popping off, we go earlier. If it's not popping off, we kind of dip out. But I definitely want to hang out with you guys as much as we can to answer those questions. So we got Kevin in here, says, yo, love the content. Thanks, dude. Kevin Slack. Let's go, dude. Tucker was asking a really good question before we popped in here. Let me see if I can find it. There's a clear on the knuckle. I realize I'm short of spinning. Clear on the knuckle. Oh, so Tucker, I think it was Tucker who hopped in here, and he was asking about like being in the air and then like panicking, and then what do I do as like I'm in the air and I may realize I'm in a knuckle. I may realize I'm overshooting. I may realize that I'm fine, but I'm panicking anyway. So kind of wanted to address the jumping game real quick. So when it comes to jumping, The biggest thing when it comes to jumping is starting in a balanced position. And I'm actually dropping a video either this week or next week about just turning and body positions. But the biggest thing is if your lead shoulder is open 45 degrees that way, and then you get in the air, your body's naturally going to rotate that way. Oh, okay. Sorry, my dad's helped me out here. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Wireless. 380. Sorry if my Ooh,
Can you speak about the best, safest way to bail off rails forwards and backwards? Best way to taco a rail. Also, if you have a question for TB, hit him with a Streamlabs donation to support the channel. IG. Daily IG posts YT is a ton of work.
Dude, I appreciate that. We dropping bombs. Chris Butler coming in hot with the $50 donation and the freaking animation. Let's go. So the best ways to fall, bail off rails forward and backwards. Best way to taco a rail. Also, if you have any questions for DB, hit him up on the donations. Yo, let's go, dude. Thank you so much. Let's go, Chris. All right, so Chris's question is a very good question that's very applicable to like a lot of people. One thing that I tend to do when it comes to hitting rails in general is I tend to get a little bit lower for two reasons. If my center of mass is a little bit lower, that means if I'm falling, I'm not falling from as like a high of a place, so I get a little lower. But the other thing is I'm able to flex I'm either able to like shift my weight over my lead foot or my back foot and style it out. And then because I'm in a low position, I'm essentially in a flex position, allowing me to pop. So if I want to do like a 270 out of the rail, then I can exaggerate that position, which to me is a little bit safer, as well as it gives me movement options. I can ride through the end of the rail, go out switch, go out regular, or pop and get some extra amplitude to try to do a spin out. So that's definitely one big thing that is like before slipping out, hopefully I'm putting myself in a position to handle the slip out a little bit better. Now after that, the idea is to keep your board and body parallel to the terrain that it's at. Okay, cool. My dad said that the audio was slightly off, so he's like texting me, helping me out. You know, Dad, thank you so much. See, my dad's got my back. Big shout out to my dad. He's been a huge supporter of the channel, huge supporter of me and everything. So super, super thankful. Thank you, Dad. With that said, I want to be parallel to the feature. So if the feature is 20 degrees down, my board needs to be at 20 degrees, but my body also needs to be at 20 degrees. So if my board is at 20 degrees, kinda, but then the rest of my body's at 0 degrees, then that's when I start slipping out. Or my body's at 40 degrees leaning downhill, that's when I slip out. So it's very important to be able to match the angle of the rail. Obviously, when you're in a board side position, you have less ability to adapt because your surface area is so thin, right? The width of your board. So you got to be very cautious of that. So setting yourself in that right body position from the get-go. Now, after that, he was talking about how to bail off. Yeah, I think just as I'm falling, I just try to get my body as low to the ground as quick as possible so that I control the fall more than just, oh crap. Hopefully by the time it's an oh crap moment that you've gotten yourself down. Other than that, sometimes you just got to try to protect yourself. The other thing is as you land, try to get your momentum to keep going as best as you can, like slide out versus just coming to an abrupt stop. When you come to an abrupt stop, that's when most injuries happen. So if you can slide as much of that energy out, anticipate it out, then you're definitely, it definitely helps. As far as tacoing, sometimes dude, you just slip out. Tacos happen so fast. Just so you guys know what a taco is. I'm trying to find, I got a GoPro pole here. Look at this, a new one thing. I got a GoPro. And then your body, imagine this is my body, and I slip out, and then I taco. So I imagine I'm like a little baby hard shell taco on that bad boy. With that said, sometimes I try to get my hands down to brace the impact on the feature as much as possible. It's hard, man. It is freaking hard. But thank you so much for the $50 donation. Chris, thank you so much, dude. An amazing save. We talked about this before. Amazing save. That could have been terrible, but you got to ride the rest of the day. So good job. Somebody else asked me what sorry, trying to find it. Brennan asked, yo, Tommy, what do you think of the Giro Access goggles? I think they're pretty sick. The lenses get a little smudgy. And then after a while, they have a magnet mechanism that goes like here and here so that you place your lenses on the frame and it helps like line them up really quickly. But then there's like a male and female part that you pop in so that it locks in. And after time, those get a little loose, and that's kind of what I'm experiencing right now. I'm just taking them off so many times that they got loose, but I'm really, I like them a lot. I'm actually creating a goggle company. I had a meeting with a goggle company in the manufacturer the other day, so we're coming up with a CAD drawing. It's going to start there in New Year's holiday right now, so we're going to start the CAD drawing next week, and then we're going to draw something out. And then this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm pretty excited about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the CAD drawing, and then I'm going to have somebody design. So I'm going to have the frame and everything designed, and then I'm going to have another artist design kind of what it's going to look like for the first edition. And then I'm going to create a Kickstarter campaign, which allows me to see if this is a viable option. And why I think this is important for you is I don't hold your money, period. If we're able to meet the goals, then I'll receive that money and start the company. If I don't make those goals, then I don't get your money. You get your money back. You don't have to like worry about me keeping your money, and trust is a big thing between me and you. So I don't want to receive your money until it's actually becoming a thing. And when it's not a thing, you get your money back. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's gonna be sick. So Access goggles, I like them for sure. All right, so scrolling down, we also, dude, you guys are popping off in this chat. Let's go. Andrew Strong says, have you ever tried the Salomon Huck Knife Pro? It's super stiff board. I actually have never tried the Huck Knife Pro. I used to ride for Salomon. I was on their Flow program for many years, so I was getting boards all the time. I was pretty hyped on him. I have not tried any of the new stuff though, unfortunately. Somebody who does a bunch of product reviews would be Board Archive. That dude definitely would know. Here's my thing, and I was actually talking to TJ about it today. I have a hard time demoing boards or trying boards or reviewing boards because I like the way my board rides, and I don't want to change that, so that when I go hit a jump, it feels the same. When I hit a rail, I hit trees, everything's the same every day, so then I can constantly progress my riding even just a little bit versus trying to adapt to a board. But with that said, I do have an Academy board review coming out later this week or next week. Really stoked on it. It's Graduate. It's a traditional camber board, directional, pretty fire. I actually was really pumped on it. It was pretty quick, so stoked on that one. Scott Knight, what up, dog? How we doing, dude? That must have been torture when I was taking those laps and you just watched us taking laps, dude. That's so lame. Rip. Amazon reviews. You got a lot of questions here. How do you wax your board? I got a video on how to wax your boards. How do you do a backflip? I have not made a backflip video. I definitely need to. That's actually a really good question. I'll go do hit a backflip. That's a great question. The backflips are really sick, but I need to do one. Okay. Sean Roman says, I like that hoodie. I need one in reverse, i.e. black with the red logo. That would dude, I would rock that super hard. I might have to make that, dude. That's a sick one. I want to make that for sure. Adam says, get a new board coming tomorrow. Dude, let's go. Pick the Nidecker Mosquito. That's sick, dude. I hope you enjoy that bad boy. That's going to be sick. Melanie, what's up, Melanie? How you doing? I'm not sure if you asked a question, but I see you chit-chatting in the chat. Sick. Kyle says, thanks for the help. Don't know if you remember me, but I've gotten even better and made it up to blues. No way, let's go. Now I really want to start enjoying snowboarding. Let's go. So I think I'm going to drop it either this week or next week. Haven't decided yet. But I have a video on how to grab. But I got another video of, and I don't know how to title it, and maybe you guys can help me on how to title it. I want it to be like a little, I don't want to sound like a jerk, because that's definitely not the goal. But I want it to do like 5 ways, I'm just going to be blunt, 5 ways that you're making turns harder, or why you suck at making turns, 5 ways that comment about bad body positions. I don't know. See, I got to figure this out. But essentially, I made a video on the top 5 most common problems when it comes to turning and why you're making snowboarding harder. And Melanie, I think, just talked about that she wasn't sure about like how she fell over and doesn't know her weight distribution. And in this video, that's exactly what I talk about, is body position, weight distribution, that kind of stuff. And I don't know if that's what the actual context was of Melanie's question, but that's something I got going on this week. Of course, I talk about the problems. More importantly, I give you the solution. I'm not here just to tell you you're not awesome. The goal is to make you awesome by educating you and giving you a solution. So we talk about that today. Mike, what up, dude? Says $5 donation. Let's go. He says, hi, Tommy. Love your content. Did you dislocate your shoulder before? I just dislocated my shoulder and it ended my season and it sucks, dude. I am about to sneeze. This is real awkward, but I've actually never, I've actually never dislocated my shoulder ever. So I'm pretty thankful. I've had some crazy knee injuries, or no, I've had like back injuries, but I've been very thankful that my knee hasn't been hurt. My shoulders have been hurt, but with the shoulders, it's a big deal. One of my friends, James Shanahan, super sick snowboarder, every time he lifted up his shoulder would literally dislocate, not sick. So what he would do is he had this brace that doesn't allow his shoulder to go above so that he couldn't pop it out anymore. So definitely a consideration.
A Fat 40 on Fat Tuesday.
Hey everybody, this is my girlfriend. Hi. She comes in here, she hangs out. We actually have a really sick video on how I taught her how to do a front board in like 20 minutes. Pretty sick, make sure you check that out. It's like one of the vlogs I did. We also got Gordon. We were supposed to have Gordon, dinner with Gordon, and he says, a Fat 40 for Fat Tuesday. I had no idea it was Fat Tuesday. I totally forget about that. So thank you so much for the $40 donation. Remember we were supposed to have dinner with him and he had to leave town? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So I was just wanting to see. Oh, that's crazy. So we got all sorts of other people in here.
I just want to say hi.
Hi. See ya. Hi. That's the GF. Sean Roman says hi, Natalie. Hunter says rocker camber for tighter tree runs. I personally love camber snowboards way more, simply because you're able to get a lot more control out of your snowboard. Sometimes when I'm riding a reverse camber board, I just feel like I'm a freaking mess. I'm not gonna lie. So I definitely would say I like camber. You gotta be able to, you gotta intentionally control your snowboard on a camber versus the camber controlling you. And in this video that I'm talking about turning, I talk about that. That's definitely a big deal. Gordon, thank you so much for the $40 donation. I appreciate that so much. Literally so sick. And I shipped those boards out and stuff a long time ago. And those guys really helped, really hyped. Gordon ended up hooking us up with bindings, boots, and board and as a giveaway. And it was so flipping sick. I'm super pumped on that. Ooh, we got some good questions in here. Dude, there's so many good questions in here. And if I miss your video, or miss your question, just retype it in. I apologize. So we just got a $10 donation. Thank you so much. Amaret, Robin, let's go, dog. What up, dude? He says, what is the best way to land a backside 180, toe edge or heel edge? I love landing on my toe side edge pretty much for a majority of the time, but landing on my toe side edge specifically for backside 180s. And I'm gonna try to do something. We haven't done this yet, my dudes. I'm gonna see something here. I want you guys to be just a baby bit patient. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna search my library full of Instagram videos, and I'm gonna see if I can find a backside 180 specifically for this question so that we can talk about it and answer it. But more importantly for you guys, being able to have a visual example. So let me go over here. We're gonna go Control F. We're gonna type in 180 and we're gonna search this bad boy. Do you guys wanna join along? Here we go. So I got this whole library right here that I got going on. So we're gonna try to find a backside 180. Backside 180, that's a frontside 180. Frontside 180 trail. Front 180 to back 180 out, front side 180 out, landing, go back to 180 out. Let's see what we got here. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna try to blow this screen up for you guys, and I'm gonna go to full settings. Oh, what? 360p. That's not sick. Well, this is what we get. We're gonna work with this for now. I'm gonna go over here. We're gonna go to half speed over here. So it's gonna go double speed. So when we're doing the backside 180, you're gonna notice that I throw my shoulders, that I keep my belly button, I know it's hard to see, I'm sorry. I keep my belly slightly stacked, my belly button slightly stacked over my toe side edge so that as I land, it's really natural for me to apply pressure to the toe side edge. Also what I do is you're gonna see here, if I can draw this out real quick, this back knee has significantly more flex than this knee. What that's doing is it's torsionally flexing the board so that the board is gripping into the snow, like really flipping hard. So that's definitely a big deal. And then I'm able to, Watch this. Shift Command 2. Ooh, we're learning. And then we're going to undo. Now we're going to watch this in ultra slow-mo. So pop, a little bit of a nollie just for fun. Bring my knees up, lean over to my toes, and then I land on those toes and dig that edge in and then ride away. Hopefully that answered your question, my dude. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. You're the man. I appreciate it. You guys got some amazing questions in here tonight. I'm freaking hyped on that. Okay. Ooh, Finn Ramsey says, indoor tips for getting stoked at snowboarding. Indoor tips, I would say, like, find something that you would be excited about that's achievable, but something that you can work towards. So let's say that you're limited on, what features you have. Well, that one feature could just be a flat box. There's 100 tricks you could do on that. You can do regular tricks, switch tricks, spins on, spins off, not spins, no spins, this spins, presses, all sorts of fun stuff, crazy combinations. But that's definitely like something you could do a lot on it for sure. Okay, so we got Rick says, what's the difference from YouTube videos to doing online training? I'm assuming really thinking about it. So if you're talking about, I do have an online snowboard course. So a lot of my, would you be transparent with you? The online snowboard course is specific to freestyle and gets that much more nerdy, where I draw on the screen, I pick apart all these little things and I break it down in a way that allows you to understand the concept and then have visual examples of that. But I spend a lot of time drawing. In addition, you get a lot of mindset training and a lot of additional stuff. It is very park specific, but I do have a 30-day back guarantee. I believe there's 25 videos that you can run through, all the way from visualization exercises, how to overcome fear, how I broke my back and overcame the fear in an in-depth story. Because I've talked about breaking my back, but and kind of in depth, but I go super ham on that. And then I talk about some very nerdy rail tricks and go deep into that. So it gets very nerdy and just that much more detail when it comes to online snowboard course versus the YouTube. I will get specific sometimes, but it's more a general, here's what's happening versus very, 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 very small detail oriented. So it's just a level of detail. And I still get nerdy on the YouTube videos, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of amazing advice. It's just less specific. So hopefully that helps. And thank you so much for the $20 donation, 30-day back guarantee. If you go to any of my YouTube videos, you're going to see that I have an online snowboard course. I apologize. I'm not sure if I have it under this one. If I don't, I can definitely get it to you. I don't have it on here. Okay, sorry. My landlord just texted me he was supposed to come by and he's not coming by. Tear. Okay, itchy nose. Let's go. Okay, how do we spell saw? Icky? Wow, that's a sick last name. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Hey, Tommy, any advice for staying planted on tubes and round jib features? Seems to taco way too often onto these bad boys. No, that's not fun. Just remember, you're not supposed to taco unless it's Taco Tuesday. Just saying, so be careful on that one. Let me go here to the nice all, let's go. I'm gonna go over here to the library of videos. I'm gonna keep you guys, I know you guys wanna hang out with me. Okay, here we go. So we're looking at this together. We got 50-50 typed in. Maybe I'll space it out. Oh yeah, we got nothing here. Oh. Sorry. 50-50 tap shovel. There's another one. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you go. This might be a good one. What's crazy is I've made over 550 Instagram posts. Pretty crazy. Okay, let's talk about this one. So this is a great question about getting planted on and staying on around tube. So I'm gonna see if we can plant this bad boy up. We're gonna go to 1080 because we wanna be able to see this in detail. We're gonna load it up real quick. Boom. Oh, just the fun time. Okay, so one thing that I do that's very specific and that I teach a lot, and I'm gonna try my best to get us all on the same page here as I slow this video down real quick. Okay, so we got, when I ride into this feature, you're gonna notice that I actually land look at my toe side edge. As you can, my toe side edge or my toes are actually leaning up.
My dude, thanks for all your help and insights. I gotta go watch that switch vid in order to dial in those Toto heel turns. Smash that like PPL.
Dude, thank you so much, Sean Roman. My dude, thanks for all the help and insight. I gotta go watch that switch vid in order to dial those toe to heel turns in. Smash that like button, my dudes. Let's go, Sean Roman. Heck yes, dude. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. With that turn, remember, squish the bug as well as start small, go up, start small. Dude, and thank you, Andrew, just became a member. Level 1 member. Thank you so much for becoming a member, dude. Let's go. Now you get the little cool little icon next to your chat name. Let's go. All right, so going back over here real quick, I want to make sure that, sorry, I want to make sure you guys are seeing what you should be seeing. So on this Urban On feature, I lift up my toes. So essentially I lift up my toes and I hit the side of the feature, which is going to help me from tacoing. If my toes are pointed down, it increases my chances of catching and getting wrecked. So I actually go into the feature, lift up my toes. It's maybe slightly hard to tell on here, but my toes are lifted up. Also, I'm landing on the side. So as I land on the side, then I start to roll my ankles and land flat. As I land flat, now I'm just locked in the rail. I'm so locked in the rail that I can play around and have a good time. Little tapper, little ooh, you know? Okay, that's probably weird, but whatever. The other thing is, look, my eyes are focused at the end of the rail. If my eyes are looking down at the rail, I have more of a tendency to look down, go down. So I want to keep my eyes, my spine relatively up, eyes up, shoulders up, and look where I'm going. That's a big deal. So my eyes are constantly focused on the end of the rail. Little boom. I'm gonna do it one more time. Just watch the eyes. Eyes looking up. Focus at the end of the rail. Locked in. Little pop, little tap, little eyes are still looking where I'm going. That's a big deal. So hopefully that was able to help you out. Hopefully it helps you. Let's go. Okay, moving on to the next donation. You guys are popping off on the donations tonight. And I hope you guys like this whole strategy of being able to show the video and have that visual example of real world stuff. I could talk theory, but real world is what really matters. All right, so we got that. So we got Kobe Mike says, how to pop high. Should you be on an edge hard when you're popping off of a jump, or slightly on the edge or kind of flat base? Let's go. All of you guys.
I strained my lower back bad boarding last week. I think it's B.C. of overcompensation when I ride. Any advice? Also truly appreciate your mindset, work, and stressing the importance on progression. Overall,
thank you, Karen, for reading that out loud. I'm going to get to that one second. I'm going to go in order from where we were. So thank you so much for the $10, the $8 donation. I will get to that in one hot second. Gee, I love that name. So I was talking about Mike, or yeah, Kobe Mike's. I'm gonna talk to you guys, but don't mind me. I might be a little distracted trying to find this certain video that I was doing. Sorry, that's probably blowing up your eardrums, huh, Pop? So I know. I told you I was gonna talk to you. There's one specific video I was trying to find, but I can't find it. Okay, so when it comes to popping, unfortunately, I don't have a specific example right here, but when it comes to popping, it depends on the angle of the jump. Let's say you're on a side hit and you need to rotate to land, you go off this way, but you want to land back this way. It's important to be able to go on edge and be able to turn because that's importante. But if I'm just going on a straight jump and I'm trying to I'm trying to maximize my vertical gain, I like to go on flat base because I know that I can put all of my energy directly flat base into my board, what translates into me going higher up. So more energy down, more energy up. With that said, I love doing that and being able to just get low and just boom. Also, it's the timing of it. So if I'm able to go off of a side jump and I pop too early, well, look how much of the jump I actually missed. But if I can extend and go through the lip, then you're like it's gonna be perceivedly bigger because you're maximizing every inch of that jump, which is helping you get trajectory. Man, trying to find this video. I'm trying to find a jump video. Let me just type in jump. Back 360 jump. Back to 360 tuck knee. There was a really sick, oh, is it a shifty? I'm trying to find this really sick Woodward video that I had that I like freaking sent it to the absolute moon. Okay. I'm going to switch you guys over to my screen so we can answer this question a little bit better, and then we're going to get through this. So when we're going off of a jump, I'm going to play it. I am flat base here. You're going to notice that I'm flat base. Notice that I'm flat base, really extending. And then the other thing that I like to do is just bring my knees up so it makes the distance between my board and the ground look even higher. That's kind of a nice little cheat for you guys. Oh, do you guys want to see that whole thing? Look at that. A little shifty. Keep going. My eyes are pointed at the end of or my eyes are looking into the landing, not at my feet, and be able to ride away. Boom. Okay, so moving on. Thank you so much for the donation. Let's go. Big shout out to Sean Roman. Also, thank you so much for the $10. And then Jesse Wood. I love your videos and I need help with my backside 360s. I always scrub or land 270 when I go to take off and rotate weird, and then I get off axis and I go over my shoulder, then land on my back. Oh, wow. That sounds like a pretty complicated little thing that we got going on here. I got a couple questions about like backside shifty, backside. Okay, I'm gonna go back over here. We're gonna look for a backside 360. Let's type in 360. Frontside 360, backside 360, frontside 360, backside 360, carved 360. We got to turn this bad boy up, right? We got to keep it from blurring out. Okay, so the question was always scrubbing your landings. Oh, that cup of coffee. Let's go. Thank you so much for the $4 donation. Let's go. Oh, no. Okay, the biggest thing that, biggest thing that you guys got to understand when it comes to backside 360s on small jumps or big jumps, medium jumps, is that your takeoff position starts the whole entire tone or sets the tone for the whole rotation. So you're going to notice that as I take off, that I am in a balanced position. My weight is distributed evenly between both of my feet. I'm able to be in a balanced position, and as I take off, I'm very patient on the takeoff. Look how late I am on the takeoff, which is important to maximize your trajectory. Now, I'm a 180 into this trick already, and notice that my eyes are already spotting the landing. That is extremely important. My eyes are not looking down at the ground. They're looking in the direction I'm going, and that just gives you more information so that you can process. Now, when you're grabbing and you're spinning and you're small, you're going to spin a little faster. And then as you open up, that's how you slow your rotation. So you're going to notice that I slow my rotation, anticipating landing right at 360 degrees. So I'll bring my knees in. I feel like my rotations, I bring my knees, I kind of tweak the board, get a little, bring my knees up, and then I'll, actually this time, because I was a little under rotated, so I retract my last statement. Because I was a little under rotated, I needed to hold the grab a little bit longer. But notice this landing position is that I'm landing on my toe side edge and I'm locking that edge in. I hit the snow with so much force on that edge that the snow pops up, but my shoulders are not continuing to rotate. My eyes are not looking at the ground. My shoulders pointed straight down the line. My eyes are looking down the line, so my momentum goes down the line. If you're like landing and you're scrubbing, it's because you're not landing on definitive edge and your shoulders are following through too hard. You got to slow that rotation down, and you can do it by landing on your board. Then you ride away. And we got one more example here. So nice little slow-mo, grabbing the board, spotting the landing. I was able to judge where I was, so I decided that I needed to pull my knees up. I'm able to continue riding, get my board to go 360, land right away. Cool. Thank you so much for the donation. Hopefully that helps, my dude. We also had another one that said, G said, I strained my lower back boarding last week. I think it's because of overcompensation when I ride. Any advice? Also, I truly appreciate your mindset, work, and stress on the importance of progression. Overall, great guy, my dude. Yo, let's go. So, yeah, I wonder, and actually it's kind of funny that you're talking about this, and I'm not stoked about your back, but there is this body position us as snowboarders will traditionally be in, which is not awesome. Our lead shoulder will be open, our weight is back, and like imagine like walking around like in this really overarched weird position. To me right now, it's already pinching my lower back, so it's like not super awesome. With that said, you want to be in a more athletic, strong stance so that your spine is sitting on top of each other appropriately versus rotated and flexed. So you want to be more stacked. Coming out with a video either this week or next week talking about the most common mistakes of turning, and that overall body position could be causing the strain in your back, and then you go hit a bump. Well, imagine your spine is rotated and flexed, and then you hit a bump. And then you hit another bump, and then you hit a catwalk, and then you do that how many times? That could really stress out your back simply because you're in this weird body position. And that body position I'm talking about, I would argue almost 95% of snowboarders are in that position. Thank you so much for the donation, my dude. I smashed that like button like I smashed those potatoes. Let's go, Sean Roman, dude. The hype is real. Elijah says, I recently dislocated my knee 2 days ago doing a 360. Any tips for coming back strong? I want to know, did you dislocate your back knee? And did you land? Were you super like over your tail and your knee happened to do that? When I was a kid, I used to do that all the time. I'd land super back seat and I'd dislocate my knee, pop it back in, keep snowboarding. It was kind of reckless. But what I would say is as you come back in, you got to dial in your stance and your body positions, and being able to be in an athletic body position when you're doing 360s or straight airs or 720s, because I used to do that same thing and I haven't dislocated my knee once, knock on wood, because I understand how to land more appropriately so my knee doesn't do that. So I don't think it's necessarily how do I come back, it's how do I prevent this from again. And if you can do that, you prevent that from happening. That builds your confidence and you come back strong because you've corrected the body position. If you don't address that, then it's just gonna happen again. So the video, again, I'm coming out with this week addresses those body positions. This week or next, it's the 5 tips on turns. It's gonna be a big deal. So if you can understand the body positions when you're turning, then you apply that to your 360s, it's a big deal. The goal when landing 360s is absorbing that impact at the same time. So I'm actually gonna go back to this 360 video right here. You're gonna notice that I'm gonna pause it just for a hot second. Notice how much pressure is on my front knee versus back knee. It's nearly the same. I would probably argue 55 to 60% of my weight the weight is on my back foot, but I'm distributing most of the weight evenly between both of my feet relatively, right? And then as I go forward, now, as soon as I impact it, I might have more weight on my back foot. Within half a board length, I've shifted my hips and my board back underneath. So now I'm absorbing that pressure with both feet almost instantly. Land and then get to the weight distributed between both feet instead of 90% of my weight on the back foot. Hopefully that helped. And thank you guys so much for all the super chats. And you guys are popping off in this chat. You guys are freaking amazing. And Grandpa Bob, what up, dog? Let's see. And then Rusty Nail Riders also says, if you're messing up your back, make sure you stretch and warm it up before sending. 100%. Okay, Vincent says, hey Tom, any tips for 540? I've been doing 360s for a long time, but I want to start doing 540s. Yes, whether it's frontside one or backside one, you need to dial in your 180. What? Tommy, what are you talking about? A backside 360 and then you add a back one is your 540. So if you can dial in backside 180s, then all you got to think about is, oh, I'm going to do a back 360 with a 180 at the end, but I'm so amazing at the back one that I put the two together. But if you're never done back ones, then you haven't developed the awareness of which edge to land on, how to handle the impact, where you're landing, and even the ability to ride switch out. Because the goal is to do a 540, ride a couple turns, own it, and theoretically hit the next feature switch, theoretically, but you got to own it. You can't just land and immediately revert because then you don't own it. but get your switch riding on point and then get your back one or front one on point so that you can own it. And then just add those two together. But when it comes to actually throwing it, you're gonna have to throw it harder. Again, throw it hard enough where you can do 360 into a back one or 360 into a front one. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Y says, I'm going snowboarding for the first time this Friday. Let's go. I hope you have the most amazing flipping time ever. That's so freaking sick. Leo says, hey, Tommy, do you detune your board for riding rails? If so, between the bindings, contact points, or any other? So what I do is I'll do a 2-degree base bevel. So your board is flush, and then you add another edge that's flush right here. So then what I do is I'll actually take this edge and I'll bevel it up 2 degrees. So now I'm sliding more on the board and the surface, not on the actual edge. So with that said, I go flat base, my edge goes 2 degrees, and then I'll do another 2 degrees. So then I do a 2-degree edge, 2-degree edge. So I still have 90 degrees, but it's just canted up just a little bit. What that allows me to do is I'm able to slide the surface more on my board, not on the edge, less likely. I could still catch a toe edge 100%, but less likely. Other than that, I would detune the tip and tails, 100% tip and tails. Spring Pow, any good videos or explanations on how to hit rainbow boxes or rails? Let's go. Okay, let's see here. All right, let me, I think I have one Instagram. Jump on my Instagram real quick. You guys can't see it, I know. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna try to find this rainbow box question. Okay, so here we go. So I'm here on Instagram. If you guys want to follow, that'd be super awesome. I break down tricks every single day. Most of you guys may know I have an Instagram, maybe not, I don't know. But I break down tricks every single day. And a trick that I broke down the other day was this rainbow box right here. I know it's not a big rainbow box, but you're gonna notice that you have to keep your body weight in line with the feature. So I'm gonna pull back over here. So you have to keep your body weight in line with the feature. Earlier, we're talking about your shoulders and board being parallel to the feature. So if the rainbow feature goes like this, yes, I want to be a little bit backseat, kind of matching the angle of the rail, but then I slowly gotta like not lean over the rail, but I gotta match that transition. So if it's a box, a small box like that is less important. Yes, you can go high, like super heel heavy, but the goal is to like keep your knees bent and then slightly just lean into it as you go up and over. And obviously it's a more aggressive, you gotta lean more aggressive. If it's pretty elongated, you don't really have to, you're just super smooth with it. So that's definitely one thing that you gotta do is be able to like keep it super smooth. But keep your knees bent and just slightly lean into it. That's for a board side. 50-50s are way easier. You can just 50-50 and then shift your weight to your lead foot and then it's like super mellow. Okay, you guys are popping off. Let's go. You guys are amazing. I love all this. Finn, it's been helping out, dude. Thank you so much for helping out. I have a video of him answering the same question. I'll save it. Dude, I appreciate that, Finn. You coming in, dude. We also have Paul, who is a freaking member with the little hand plant thing, you know what I mean? Little hand plant. Remember, if you guys buy stickers tonight, within the next 24 hours, I'm going to hook you up with a free sticker. Paul says, love the new background. Way to dial it up. Let's go. Dude, I got a little snowboard over there that's broken. That's why it's there. Got some goggles, little plants that are fake because I don't want them to die and look bad. But definitely super stoked on that. Where do I put my board on a rail? Like in the middle of my board or just straight down? So let's keep the minimum, like the spam to a minimum. I know that I'm not answering every single question because it's slightly crazy. But as far as board sides, you have the option. As long as your belly button is stacked over the rail, this is my board. I can have my belly button stacked over the rail. My board's here. If the rail, I can also shift over my lead foot and make that a trick. I can be in the middle. I can be over here. Sometimes you'll notice that you favor one foot more than the other. So get good at that one, but then don't neglect the other one. Because there's certain tricks that you need to slide over your front foot versus your back foot. You need to have the ability to do both. That's pretty importante. But you have the option. I do both. I do all three, actually, left, right, and center. Definitely a good option. Chan says, what's your warm-up? My groin inner thigh hurts, maybe pulled. I actually think, I've been talking to some people. After this season, I may have to, I'm going to get an MRI. I have been dealing with like a pulled groin for like literally 4 or 5 years, and it's to a point where I'm just frustrated and over it and need to like do something about it. Recently, I was talking to another coach that works for another company that's super awesome, another coaching program, and he was talking about one of his athletes ended up like hurting something and may have torn a ligament in there. And the way he described that was the exact way that mine hurts. So he was saying that person had to have surgery. I hope I don't, but it's something that I need to inspect. If I have to have surgery, I feel like I might have to. I hope not, but I might have to have surgery this summer. So as far as that, I think like, as far as like stretches, deep squats where you like squat down, take your elbows and press out your knees. That's a really good one. You could also do the classic butterfly. You could also do pigeon, I believe it's called. It's where your lead one foot kind of goes forward and then you turn it this way and then you look it up. It's pigeon pose. It's amazing. That one's really good. Also lunges where you stretch out. You can rotate your foot when you're doing a lunge, either forward, backwards, or lateral lunge. You can do like a lateral lunge stretch. All of those are really good. I personally don't warm up that much. I should. Test says, is being slightly drunk a good idea to hit big jumps? For me, absolutely not. It might take the fear factor off, but then your coordination may not be there. So then you end up getting wrecked because your coordination's not there, but you're not scared. So I wouldn't. Oh, Wise says, where do you get the A-light? They're actually called nano leaves, and I tried to make them an A. I want it to be a mountain range. What if I do that? Should I like, they're really expensive. That's why I didn't get more. But I wanted to do like a little mountain range. So it's like, this is really hard to do. So like kind of like, I can't do it. But you guys know what I mean? Like a little mountain range over here. It could be sick, little peaks and valleys and stuff. Those are called nano leaves. They're really expensive. I want to buy more because you can just, each one has a little triangle piece and then they just link together and you can make all sorts of really cool shapes. You can make circles, squares, triangles, whatever, and then like be super creative. I wanted to get more, but they're really expensive and I wasn't about to drop $1,000 on lights when that money could be going somewhere else. Meredith Wood, hey, I'm a very new snowboarder and I had a question about controlling my board. My board never wants to go left foot forward, so regular. My board never wants to go and it drives me nuts on my runs. Please give me advice. LOL. Yeah, the biggest thing is probably your body position, to be honest. Something that I talk about in the video that's coming out about turning, and it's very applicable to you. So make sure you put the little notifications on so you don't miss this video. If I'm trying to turn that way, but my shoulder is pointed that way, then where's my board go, right? I'm kind of working against myself. It's as if I had a steering wheel and one wheel goes that way, one wheel goes that way, and the steering wheel's trying to direct us where we're going. So that becomes very like finicky, right? So being able to force your board to go the direction you want to go, it all stems from your body. So if I want to go that way, my shoulders got to anticipate that direction, and then I can do this thing called knee steering. If you look up how to turn on my YouTube channel, it's definitely like a really sick video. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Let's do this. Just so you YouTube video, go YouTube channel. So, oh, hey, whoa. I'm sorry about that. That was terrible. So if you just look up, let's just call it turn. T-U-R-N. This one right here, how to turn. This video is really good, especially talking about those body positions and stuff. That one's a really sick one. how to turn beginner guide. This is actually a coaching session with our boy Ark. He's pretty freaking awesome. Look at that guy. And then, yeah, so that's a really good option. If you want to understand more specifically about knee steering, more specific about controlling your board and forcing your board where to go, that's a fire video. Okay. What else we got in here, my dudes? All right, let's see. L. Watson says, what board do you recommend if you want to get into the terrain park? Actually, an Academy proper camber is a pretty fun board because it's camber. It's like a micro camber. Camber is really good for jumping and being stable in the park. It's a little bit harder to do a nose press. That just means you have to put a little bit more energy, but still doable. I've done them. But a camber board is actually pretty sick. I'm a big fan of that board, but camber is definitely the sick one. Tommy, does pineapples belong on pizza? Yeah, sometimes I don't mind them at all. We also had L Dubs 53 says, have you ever been to Seven Springs? I have. I've actually been there 3 times. There's a Holiday Inn like down the road, like down away a little bit, and it's freaking sick, dude. They were so nice. They give us free cookies every day. It was sick. And their rope toes, amazing. Yes, please. We also had a $10 donation. Julian, what up, dog? How hard is it from 1 to 10 for a semi-new rider to go ride a wider board for carving? Not like pow wide, but wider. I think that really the biggest thing when it comes to a wider board is being able to force your board to do what it needs. So the one thing you're going to notice, because the board has a wider platform, that going from edge to edge takes more time. The benefit of a wider board is that your toes don't hang off as much, so you can make those really deep carves like Ryan Napton without the toes, like, you know, like wrecking your life. But what I would suggest you do is before you go buy a wider board, go demo the board and see if it's the right board for you, and then buy it. Because I don't want you to drop $600 and hate the snowboard and then not have fun snowboarding because you dropped $600 and you hate the snowboard, right? So that vicious circle. So I would definitely say it's doable. You just got to understand how to adapt to it, and you just got to be more intentional. I'm going to my toe side. I need to go to my toe side. If I'm going to my heels, I need to be more intentional until your body understands the coordination of it. And then once you understand that, you'd be ripping and rocking, my dude. Don't know. Let's go. +1 for the proper camber. Dude, it's actually pretty fun. The Godly Noob, what's riskier, doing rails or backflips? Depending on the circumstance, if you've never done a backflipping and you don't have the right mechanics, you've never done it, then you just increases your chances of fear taking over. When fear takes over, you don't commit to the full rotation, you land on your head. As far as rails are pretty progressive as well. You can start with a little baby rail, progress your way up to a bigger rail. But yeah, it's kind of my thoughts. Okay, thanks for the tips. Watson, no worries, my dude. Wow, Miracle, hi Tommy. I'm a size 12 boot. How wide snowboard should I ride? I actually don't have that specific answer for you. I would definitely maybe reach out to Board Archive for that. I love talking about snowboarding, but not really talking about like the actual boards and stuff. I would definitely go wider, specifically how wide you should go for a size 12. I wouldn't know. I have a size 8 and I ride small bindings. And I'm not as much on the techie equipment side. I'm more of the nerdy snowboard turn, how to be doing tricks kind of thing. So definitely reach out to the Board Archive. So sorry I didn't answer your question directly, but I wish you the best. Dakota, hey Tommy. I know you had a back injury back in the day. I've had similar injuries, but now better. Just don't have as much flexibility anymore on stretches or workouts. I have done a lot of like CrossFit, and now CrossFit's not the answer for everyone. I liked CrossFit when I was doing it, and I stopped doing it because of the hip flexor. I think I tore a labrum or something. I guess there's a labrum in your shoulder and in your hip area. So I cannot squat anymore because that just hurts it and pisses it off and it's not sick. But I like the dynamic range of CrossFit. I like being able to squat and jump and plyometrics and all that stuff. But I would think just say start small and then slowly build your capacity for working on, build your capacity for your range of motion as well as the strength. but the more stronger you are, definitely the more like confident you'll be. Stays Command says, do you look down at the ground while you are riding? Predominantly, I would say no. I would say that ideally for me, as I'm ripping it around, that my eyes are predominantly looking in the direction I'm going, and I'm anticipating what's about to happen. And then out of my peripheral vision, I can kind of see like the feature below me, but majority of the time I want to look and anticipate what's happening. And then as you do that, you start to build your spatial awareness, which means you know what's going on. If my eyes are so focused down here, then how do I see the kid that fell over? How do I see the mogul field that's down the hill? Because I'm too focused downhill here. And then you also put yourself in a compromised position where you're just looking at your feet the whole time. You're rounding your shoulders, you're more flexed or hunched at your back, you're more flexed at the hips. It's just a less awesome position, and it's hard to manage where your weight distribution is forward and back over your toes and heels. So if, as soon as you look up and start looking where you're going, it definitely helps out a lot. That's like a big deal, is knowing where you're going and what you're doing. But again, it leads to better body positions and helping you ride. I'm just trying to find some like turns. Here might be a really good example if we can. Why is that not full resi? This is not full resolution, which is annoying. But so as I'm making this heel side turn, my eyes are looking at this like next bump. As I make this turn, I'm already looking, anticipating ahead. As I make this one, my eyes are ahead. I'm constantly looking where I'm going. I know this is really small on your guys' screen, but my eyes are looking where I'm going. Make a turn, anticipate it. Eyes looking where I'm going, anticipate, boom, boom, boom. Hopefully that helps, my dude. Can you explain a bit of beginner tips for jumping and landing? I've tried doing small jumps on side hits and doesn't seem to be able to get enough air or far. Yes, that is such a good, that's a good one. I'm looking up a video right now that you'll like. Okay, I'm gonna pop over to this screen. This video actually is pretty sick. It's called Put You on Mute. Not you know what I mean? Me. Top 5 most common mistakes. So just one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is I'm gonna pop this in slow motion, 1080 slow-mo, let's go. Right here. Couple things that you're looking specifically for jumps is you're taking off in a strong body position. Notice that I am flat based, my eyes are looking up, my shoulders are in a strong position, I'm stacked. I'm able to take off in a nice balanced position, grab my little snowboard, but then I land with both of my knees flexed. My spine is relatively upright. My shoulder is pointed down the hill and my eyes are looking down the hill, not at my feet, they're looking down the hill. The reason is that puts you in a better body position to absorb the impact. But now look, I'm already ready for the next jump. I'm already ready. I'm literally like a board or 2 board lengths past the landing. I'm already ready for the next jump. My eyes are focused on the jump. My eyes are focused on the jump. Pop, shifty, land, looking where I'm going. So hopefully that helps as far as jumps. Side hits are a little bit different. You definitely, depending on if your side hit is like going left or right, you want to be on a little bit of an edge, and then that can help you like gear you, change your trajectory going into the landing. That's a big deal. Tezek, is that how you said it? Tezek says, how do I get better rotations when doing a spin? Any tips? Biggest thing when let's see if I can find you like a 720 video or something. 720? 7? Trying to find this video, okay. Oh, this is, I don't know why they're not like full resolution. Hey, don't spam. If I can get to it, I'll get to it, but don't spam. It's not gonna help. My dudes. All right, so when it comes to doing 720s or bigger spins, notice how my line helps me throw the trick. As I'm in the air, I engage my core, so my upper body and lower body spins together. I'm gonna turn this to like, probably like just 50% mode so we can look at it. So, oh, I think it's over here. So front side 720, I throw, my core is tight, my shoulders and eyes are looking where I'm going. I'm able to land So that's front 7. I'm going backside spin, looking where I'm going, keeping the core tight, and finishing. So it's really important when you're doing those rotations to spin, spin, spin. Always Cairo, I can't seem to land my corks more than 720. Any tips? I can't grab while doing it. It's super important to be able to grab your snowboard for 2 reasons. One, it helps you stay compact, which is why you're going to spin really well. There's actually 3, so it's going to help you stay compact. And then as you let go of the grab, you can help slow down the rotation. And then depending on what axis you're throwing your 720 on, sometimes your axis will force you to land better at 7, or you may have to change the axis just a little bit so that you land better at 9. Without actually seeing the video, it's hard to tell, but grabbing is super important. And the third reason is it just looks cooler. If you're doing competitions, grabbing is important. That's like a big deal. But make sure you're bringing your knees up and allowing your hand to grab
Hey
the
Tommy,
board.
I just started snowboarding this season, been out about 8 times and have picked it up pretty well. I cannot demo boards at my resort and I want to make sure I get the right board. What do you think I should do to make sure I get the right board?
Jacob, I'm going to get to that in 1 second. Quickly, I wanted to jump into the donation just before you, so I'll get to yours, Jacob, in here in a hot second. So we got Stephen G. Are you aware of any good personal coaches or clinics for experienced older riders? My question is, where are you located, Stephen? Because I have somebody at Copper, I have somebody at Vail, and I have somebody at Breck that I can refer you to 100%. That work for the resort, super experienced instructors that have worked with all sorts of different range of abilities and ages. So definitely, that's it. Let's see. Kick speed, Seed, I'll get that to you in 1 second, all right? Oh, you're in Tahoe. What I would suggest that you do, Steven, is you can reach out to ski schools. I know in Colorado, if you're doing like underground teaching, it's very frowned upon, / I can get banned and kicked out and not be able to coach or not be able to ride. So it's not worth it to me, so I just don't do any private ones. If you're interested in going to the resort, ask for somebody who's a Cert 3. That's like, Cert 3 is like one of your top certifications, and they do a lot of freestyle. They work with a lot of people. Also, your Cert 3 is tend to lead clinics and like hangs out with people. That's definitely something that I would encourage you to do. I don't know anybody specifically in Tahoe, but I would definitely ask for a Cert 3 or above, somebody, and call ski schools, call around. Kirkwood, Heavenly, North Star, call around, and they could definitely give you, send you in the right direction. I just don't know anybody there. I know people in Colorado. Jacob says, hey, Tommy, just started snowboarding about 8 times. Have picked it up pretty well. Interesting. What I would do as far as getting like a board and stuff, Jacob, is watch a bunch of reviews on Board Archive. I don't do a lot of product reviews, but Board Archive, hence the name, Board Archive, has a whole bunch of product reviews. I saw him today. We were chatting, vibing, riding a little bit, and he's doing a product review, and he has a lot of good nerdy stuff when it comes to talking about boards. And is there anybody else that will let you demo, like any local snowboard shops, anybody at the resort? Because if you can actually ride a board, that's the biggest thing. Or see if any of your friends have a very similar board that you could try, like a friend, maybe a Facebook group. Hey, can I not borrow your board, but can I demo your board? You ride with me. I'm not trying to steal it. You can have my board. Like, let's trade it out. A Facebook group, Snowboarding ! Is a snowboard group, and maybe you can find somebody at your resort who has the board you're looking for, and you can demo it, and that could be really sick too. So hopefully I answered both of you guys' questions, yeah? Seed says, why can I get no air when trying to ollie on flat, but I can pop? Probably because you're not utilizing your board appropriately. Really exaggerate the retraction of your lead knee so that your board really flexes, and then you spring out of it. Think about you get a common spring and you push it together, and then it springs out, right? That's the intention. You build all that pressure, and then it explodes out. So you want to exaggerate the retraction of your lead knee. Now, if you're on a camber board, it's going to be way more explosive. If it's too stiff, you're going to have to shift your weight back and really put a lot of energy into it. If you're more on a reverse camber board that doesn't have a lot of integrity left on the board, then it's going to be a lot harder to get that spring, and then it becomes more of a jumping off your back foot. But when you're popping, essentially you're pushing off the ground with both feet at the same time, and that might be feeling more intuitive. So it either could be an equipment issue or a mechanic / timing body position issue. Hopefully that answers your question. I was actually riding with your brother a few days ago, and I was trying tripod switch ups. Do you have any tips? Let's go. Dude, my brother is sick. My brother is super dope. He's been in a bunch of, he's been in a couple of my videos. You know, I've known him for a long time, pretty much my whole life. And really, I would probably talk without seeing what you're doing, and I'm kind of throwing some ideas out there. Weight distribution is super important. How much pressure do you have on your hands? Because at some point, if you're, and I'm just assuming you're trying to like be on like one nose and then go to tail and kind of do that, you got to make sure you have enough weight on your hands to make the nose or your board not have so much pressure that it's locked in. And then you can flex down or push into the board so it springs up. And then your movement has to be so fast to be able to switch that around. I would say just a lot of weight distribution is going to be the biggest deal, whether it's too much on your board, too much on your hands, not enough, but without being able to see it, I'm not totally sure. But that's a classic trick my brother always does. Yeah, it's sick. Ooh, flavor carrot. And thank you so much, Trey, for helping us out. Sign in says, I like to ski. Dude, that's sick, though. Skiers are sick, too. So if you go over here onto my channel, this is like a great feature. If you guys are ever like not in the live stream and you're just wondering if I've made that video yet, just type in the generic keyword, because I use keywords, obviously very important in snowboarding / the algorithm. So you were talking about ollie. So let's go ollie versus pop. And look at this, two-footed pop versus ollie. Win to pop versus ollie. TB versus series. I want to do a series of like this versus that. I should call it that. Tommy's this versus that series. But that video right there is pretty sick because I discuss when to use it. I like to talk about ollieing is used when I have minimal assistance from the ground at a relatively medium to slow speed. So I went off of a rail yesterday and I did a 50-50 ollie, frontside 180 out, but the rail was flat. It wasn't helping me. I wanted more amplitude. I wanted more oomph. Could I have done a two-footed takeoff? 100%. I could have popped. But for this specific example, I wanted to get some juice going. I wanted to make it look good. So I tried my best to make it look good. Doesn't always. But be able to flex that board, pop, or flex that board, ollie, get that snap out of the board in 180. But then if I'm on a jump, a 50, 60-foot jump, I'm definitely not doing an ollie, so to speak. Let me see. I do have a video that I talk about. I'm going to switch over screens real quick. So here's a big jump, and this is when I popped versus ollie. You want to do a two-footed extension and then be able to ride through the air nice and balanced with a nice little back three crail. Let's go. Love that one. What ends up happening if you do an ollie, here's the jump, and here's my board, and let's just call this like the takeoff if we can, you know. Nice little picture for us. But if I ollie, I can create too much pressure on my tail, and then once a snap, but it snaps me forward, meaning I'm catapulting to my face. Not sick, but go watch that video. That video is pretty fire. It has a lot of good information on it. Jackson, what up, dog, says, hey, I took a jump and broke my collarbone. No, dude, I'm not stoked to hear that. How do you make it so your bones are stronger than the ice when you land? Well, the biggest thing is like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not sure how to entirely make your bones stronger, but I would definitely recommend understanding your body positions, understanding how to jump to eliminate that as much as possible. It definitely can happen, you know, but we're trying to minimize that chance. So I have 2 videos on how to jump. So I definitely go check those out. You can do what I just did there. You can type it in the search button, but I'm sorry to hear, man. Sorry to hear. That's not fun. Any tips for cork, says Toby. If you can get on a trampoline and start understanding, if I'm throwing a trick and I'm throwing it backflip or I'm throwing it flat. Now, what if I throw it in the middle, that kind of nice little point between? So that's when you start to go cork. So I can do front side and start to throw my shoulders in a hybrid of flat and flip. That's gonna become cork. Backside is the same thing, but backside I throw down instead of a front flip or a flat spin. It's kind of on that axis. But if you can get on a trampoline and start understanding how to bring yourself in this cork position where I'm kind of blind and can't see, and then finish the trick back to my feet, that's a big, big deal. Building that awareness and that skill, such a big deal. Okay, Young Neo 60 G4 says, hey Tommy, I'm having trouble doing 180s while riding. I can do 180 standing still, but I can't do them while riding. I have a whole video on how to frontside 180. I actually have 2 of them. The biggest thing is making sure that you're wound up and you're throwing, but the biggest thing is that you're on an edge where you feel like you're locked into the ground and you can throw the trick. If you are not on enough of an edge, essentially as you throw it, your board's just gonna slide out. It's not as stable, but when you're flat ground, you're probably stable, locked into the snow. So make sure you get that in. Thunderbound Film says, how can I grab on my back 1s and 3s? Let me see if I can find a video for you. I'm trying to find a video for you, my dudes. What is this? That's front side. I'm almost there. I think I found a video. Looking for a video. Awkward, silent. Okay, switching screens over real quick. So here, back to my Instagram, I got this video right here. It's a backside 180. The biggest thing when doing spins with frontside or backside is making sure that you bring your legs up. Here is a little bit of a kind of a combination. I'm able to, look how I bring my knees up. I'm bringing one more than the other so I can do this crazy weird grab. But it's important that I bring my knees up and I'm bringing my board to me. Get used to doing a back 3 with your knees up. Back 3 with your knees up, over and over and over, and then eventually you can just grab the board because it's like feels intuitive. Let me see if I can find another back 3. Oh, we talked about that one. It's a seatbelt. I got a lot of videos. Ooh, one-footed, that's weird. And what's crazy about going through my Instagram like this is it brings me back. I remember every single day I filmed all of these. I remember them specifically, and it's crazy because this season is like going by so fast and it's so sad. Makes me want to cry most of the time. There's a back 3 video in here somewhere that I wanted to show you guys. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. I think that's front side. Yeah. Oh, here might be one. Backside 540. Notice how I bring my knees up. It's super important to watch how I bring my knees up, and then I'm gonna move on from this question. So I wind up, I throw, and my knees immediately pull up. Now look how easy it is to grab and tweak and spot that landing. Dope, dope. Moving on. Dope, dope. Moving on. Kudia, what's up, dog?
Hey fam, this weekend was my first time on the hill this season. Went to Sugar Bush. I was able to implement tips I got from your videos and they made world of difference. I watch the shit out of your jumping videos because my takeoffs suck.
Let's go. I'm super stoked. Daniel, I'm super stoked, dude, that you're watching the videos, and I'm more stoked that you're like getting stoked on snowboarding. This is my weekend, was my first time on the hill this season. And that's the goal, is to give you the tools to make your experience more awesome and have more fun. So sorry, I just gotta remove somebody, put them on timeout here. So dude, I'm super stoked, and thank you so much for the $20 donation. My goal is to make you as awesome as possible. And now that you're actually watching the videos and hopefully getting those tools and remembering those little things, that's sick, dude. I'm super pumped on that. Let's go. Somebody is car alarm's going off there. You guys probably can't hear it, luckily. Borealis, what up, dog? How we doing? How can I get my force back after I get in the air? Oh, how do I get my focus back after the air because my brain blocks everything and then I crash? I think the biggest thing is being like building your awareness and confidence and comfort for the feature. Now, when somebody's new to a sport, everything happens so fast because you're not able to process everything, or you're not able to only process what you need to and disregard all the other information. So when I'm snowboarding and doing a backside 360, there's very few things I'm focusing on. One's like, okay, one's I know I need to throw and I need to spot the landing, but my focus is am I going fast enough and am I gonna make the landing? Well, I don't need to focus on how much I wind up. I don't need to focus on how much I pop. I don't need to focus on bringing my knees up and looking where I'm going because it's such muscle memory that I don't need to focus on any of that. I focus on 1 to 2, maybe 3 things when I'm doing the rotation. I don't have to focus on that. So for you, building your comfort and your confidence and having the experience that you can eliminate all that other stuff. So if your mind's like not able to process all that information, it's happening so quick, you just got to take a step back and hit the jump, the little bit smaller jump, and hit it over and over and over and over so that you start building the muscle memory, you start building the ability to process that information faster, and that you're able to be more conscious of the situation because you can now focus on that. When you're new at something, everything really fast. When you're experienced, everything slows down. I can ride trees super fast and flowy and not hit any trees, but I'm able to like navigate, put my body in the right position and just do it because I've done it so much. It's just like, I don't have to think about it. I can just act, not react, but act, anticipate. So it's just time. Emma says, when I try to make short turns, I always seem to catch my edge. Any tips for connecting short turns without catching your edge, Emma? Yes, let's go. Let's see what we got. Hey, I'm gonna try to find a video for you. Why do you do that? I don't understand. Sometimes the Goog doesn't help out. So when we're talking about turns, there's 3 parts to a turn. I'm actually gonna bring this back over here. Sorry for the 3 parts to a turn. You got the start of your turn right here. Then you got the control or kind of the midpoint of your turn, and then you got the bottom of the turn or the finish. We got the initiation of the turn, the control phase, and the finish of the turn. And let's call this step 1, step 2, step 3. A lot of times when you're new to snowboarding, you're trying to go from step 1 to step 3 really fast, and you catch that edge in between because you're not allowing your board to go down the hill and be able to transition to the next edge. So you're catching that edge. So I'm gonna try to, so I'm on heel side edge. My board is going down the hill and you can't see it because it got completely covered. Let me see if I can find a, okay, so this is exactly what I mean. Turns are the gateway to everything in snowboarding. It's funny because I said that today. So I'm on my heel side edge. Let's take it a half step back. Come on, look at this guy talking all slow. Come on, speed it up, dude. You're awkward. Come on, Mike. Okay, we don't need to do that. Okay, we'll just go here. So let's say I'm on my toe side turn. I'm in the control phase. Now here, I'm at my finish of the turn. I need to get my board flat, but because I'm going relatively downhill, I can transition to the other edge pretty easily and back. But you got to make sure you do step 1, step 2, step 3. Don't go 1 to 3. Watch this whole video. How to turn your snowboard. Super awesome. I put a lot of work into this video. It's pretty fire. Pretty stoked on that one. Oh my God, you guys didn't even see any of that. That was so dumb. Oh, I'm so sorry. What I was saying is I'm on, we're gonna go take a step back just a little bit. Okay, what I was saying, I apologize, we're starting over, is I'm on my toe side edge. Now I'm starting, oh my God. So I'm on like my heel edge, then I transition to the next edge. That was terrible, but I'm pretty sure you get the point. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Moving on. Nathan says, do you have any daily stretching routines you do before or after you ride? No. I should be better about that. I'm not. I'm pretty terrible, to be honest. What ended up happening with the board thief you caught recently? I don't know if you guys know this story. I'm going to talk about it really, really fast. I was snowboarding. One of my athletes put her board down at the bottom of the resort. We went back 15 minutes later to grab the board. It was gone. Hung out down at the bottom, see if anybody stole it, accident, whatever. We're not sure. The board was stolen. They never came back. A couple hours later, I'm standing at the bottom of the park chair. Sorry, at the top of the park chair. There's like a starting point here, but the chairlift goes over you, and I saw the board, what I thought was the board, and then I looked and I thought I saw the sticker. That's my company sticker, Premier Snow Academy. So I saw that sticker. So then I ended up like confronting the guy, and he pretty much lied and said it was his board, and I told him it was not. He ended up unstrapping and walking all the way down from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain.
Tommy is the dude. Board progression definitely starts with his videos and being on your board and just practicing for sure.
Let's go. I'm going to finish this story, and then we're going to get to the Wilder family. Let's go. So what ended up happening was he walked all the way down, had security meet him, and we got the board back. We didn't press charges, but he was 15, and I don't know what happened after that. Tommy's the dude. Board progression definitely starts with the videos and being on your board and just practicing. Yes, there's no substitute for practice. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but you got to put it to action. You got to put it to action. So that's where I hope you guys are like taking all this nerd and putting it to action, because that's a big deal. Big deal, my dudes. Dakota, yeah, sorry, that was a rip. Thank you. Hey Tommy, I've been working on my switch riding a lot. I was wondering what is the best way to be able to transition my regular and switch riding seamlessly in the middle of a run while keeping momentum. It's called like kind of like a revert, or you could do like a pop 180, front side or back side, or like be cruising. And then what I like to do is I like to lift up my lead toe really hard, causing my board to turn. And then I'll like push out my other leg. So I'll lift up this one and push this one, and it causes my board to like do a nice 180. And then you can do a little turn and go back. I would definitely start messing around with lifting up one ankle and pushing the other one down, or lifting up one more than the other. But it's definitely like super fun. Or just pop a 180, little you know what I mean? Thomas says, I just landed my first rail tube and just wanted to know if you feel as stoked every time you land new tricks. Yes, dude. One big thing that I kind of struggle with is like, I've lost so many tricks that I have to like relearn them, or I haven't done them in a while. So there's a trick I haven't done in a while. I did like front blunt same way, and I haven't done it all year, and I landed it first try, but it's taken me 80 days to build up the courage to do it. I've snowboarded 80 or 90 days so far this season. So being able to like actually get up the courage to do it. So it was almost like a relief. I was like stoked. I was like, oh, finally. But yeah, dude, I'm hyped to learn a new trick. It just depends on how gnarly that trick is. If it's a crazy, crazy gnarly trick, then yes, I'm super hyped. If it's just like something mellow, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm struggling with transitioning my edges smoothly. Yes, in the middle of your turns, you have a 3-part turn. You have the initiation, control, and finish of your turn. As you're going from the initiation to control, think about sinking down, and then in this part, so right here, the little C-turn, you know what I mean? This part, you're in a flexed position, and then as you exit the turn, think about standing up. When you stand up, you're essentially unweighting your snowboard. It's called up and weighting your snowboard, and that allows that edge to transition from one edge to the other a lot easier because there's less force. You're up and weighting and then transitioning. Definitely a good one. Kenji says, any tips for laying out heel side carves with your hand down? Flex your bum as close to your board as possible, and then sinking over and putting your hand down. If you're just really tall and trying to put your hand down, you have to make such an aggressive edge to actually hold you in. But I like to sink down as low as I can, and then I just gotta like, tilt over just a little bit, and then you can put the hand down. It's pretty good. Let's see, I got a good question. Let's see, I just had a good question. I'm trying to... where was it? I had a good question, and then I can't find it. Let's see. My neck hurts often, CT says, from a long day of snowboarding. Any ideas on the wrong position? I'm actually not totally sure about that. Not totally sure. Tommy, what's the last new trick you learned? Last year I learned front nines. I haven't done them this year, but I don't feel like it's too far away. I literally have taken like almost this whole season to kind of get back to where I feel like I should be. I took a pretty big crash earlier this season that I didn't tell anybody about, except for like a few people. Took a pretty big crash, so that kind of like hindered me for a while. But I'm finally like back to a point where I'm like super confident and super comfortable. But I'm back to where I was last year, or maybe even this summer. So that's the trick that I learned. Is your helmet too heavy? Maybe I have no idea. Nick, what up, dude? Will riding with my bindings 1550 hinder my overall progression in the long run? It just feels more comfortable. I think this is my last question. LOL, you saw. Honestly, Nick, no, dude. Honestly, I ride 1515 and I feel like it allows me to ride regular and switch like just as good. But it's not going to hinder you in the long run. If anything, it's going to open up a lot of opportunities. My snowboarding is still progressing. And it's because I have the ability to go switch or regular, frontside or backside, to be as symmetrical as possible. But it opens up so many doors, going into rails, going into jumps, going into trees, going into cliffs. Having that stance, I feel like, is a very progressive thing for the long run. You're actually going to have more opportunities, in my opinion. Yon says, did you take lessons to learn tricks? When I was younger, I was on a competitive snowboard program where I had coaches that I would ride with 6 days a week, and they were trying to make me more awesome at snowboarding. And that was definitely like something that I was very thankful for. Definitely had to, like, as time went on, I definitely had to continue to progress and learn about body positions and fundamental movements. In the long run, I just, even till this day, I don't necessarily get a lesson to learn a new trick. I figure it out, but I create the steps on how to get there. And that's probably what I do nowadays, is because not that I know everything, but I can at least break down what I want to learn and try to figure it out either kinesthetically or mentally of like, okay, how do I need to do this? But yeah. Levi says, where are you from? Born and raised just outside of Colorado. By Colorado, of course, I mean just outside of Vail. So I didn't grow up in Vail, but I grew up in a couple towns over and always freaking loved it. Kudia says, hi, Tommy. I'm normal, but I ride goofy too, equally as well, both at speeds. But when it's steep, I get fear, even half speed, problems of posture, overweight. I think like fear is fear, right? It's just being able to be comfortable at that steepness, both regular and switch. I definitely recommend having 60% of your weight on your front foot, allowing you to get your board to turn. But as soon as fear happens, you start shifting back away from the nose of your snowboard, which causes the turns to be longer and not as awesome. So I would definitely talk about, I definitely want you to understand that shifting your weight forward and forcing that position is definitely like a big deal. Billy says, hi, Ava, I see you. Hello, Ava. Will, what up, dog? Is boarding with sharp edges dangerous? I haven't beveled my edges yet. I mean, yes and no. Depends what your application is. You're riding rails, probably gnarly. If you're riding half pipe, you need sharp edges. If you're just riding jumps, totally fine. If you're just cruising around groomers, totally fine. Trees, totally fine. Rails are when it definitely comes into kind of question. Oh, thanks, Nightbot. Billy, with all the emojis. Let's see. Levi says, oh, I thought you were from Utah. I've been to Utah a couple times, but never done that. Not from there. Jeremy BFC says, hey, Tommy, I've been working on board sides and I've been studying your video for a few days. I'm having trouble keeping my lead shoulder in front of me. Any tips? Yeah, disengage your core. If you're like nervous, tight, and like here, it's hard to like get the separation of my upper and lower body. So think about getting your stomach soft so that your shoulder and your spines can just move freely like this. My spine's having a good all time. So definitely think about that and start small. By the way, I saw your Instagram account and subbed. Let's go. Thank you so much. I'm super hyped on the gram. I've been posting daily breakdowns for about 18 months now. Every single day. I haven't missed a single day. And we're growing a little bit of a following. Definitely pretty thankful and stoked on that as well. Let's see what else. Great live, by the way. Lots of compressed content. Amazing. Dude, let's go. Let's see, Thunderbound. I can only ollie high because I can only nollie high because I have a weak back leg. Is that gonna cause me a problem when learning harder tricks? It depends what the trick is, to be honest with you. A lot of times when you're doing jump tricks, you want to pop, which is a 2-footed extension, not an ollie. Ollies, you definitely want to learn it, and maybe it's you got to understand the mechanics a little bit more. Maybe that's how you overcompensate the weak back leg, is by understanding that your lead leg strong, so retract that lead leg even more, causing the board to decamber and build more pressure, and then you just let your back leg combined with that board to like let it spring up. But definitely like consider your mechanics, because I think you could still have a decent ollie. But I wouldn't say it's going to hinder you, but a ton, but it'll hinder you like on occasion for sure. Hey Tommy, any tips for softening stomp landings for side hits? So softening landings for side hits, absorb the impact between both of your knees and have the range of motion of absorbing it as deep as you can. So if you can absorb the impact between both knees, it's better for your knees. You can handle it. As well as have a longer range of motion so that you can absorb more is a big deal for sure. Pedro says, can you give a tip for free? Every single tip tonight has been free unless you donated, and I'm getting a lot of free tips, One of them is make sure you have fun snowboarding. If you're snowboarding and you're having fun and progressing and enjoying the people you're going to ride with, you're going to snowboard long enough to actually enjoy it and actually get better. Can you give a tip for carving heel side edge? Lift up your toes to the top of your boot, giving yourself a little bit more edge angle. And then also think about sinking your belly button down a little bit more. And then you can just shift over slightly, but lift up your toes and get like a sharper edge. It's definitely sick. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to end that there. My throat's getting a little raspy, and we've been going for an hour and a half. And all of you guys are amazing. I've absolutely enjoyed hanging out with you guys. These live streams have been popping off. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna Jordan has asked this question a couple times. Hey Tommy, how do you know when to upgrade your board from beginner to intermediate to advanced boards? Not sure when I should be thinking about. Do you feel like your board is holding you back? I guess that's kind of a hard question to answer. Oh my gosh. We also have the Wilder, dude. The Wilder, Tommy's the dude, Progressing Bailey. Dude, Wilder, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I actually think I did talk about that. As far as like progressing to the next board, is go demo a board and see if you can control that board and you can vibe that board. And are you looking for more performance out of your board? Are you looking to turn sharper and harder and carve gnarlier? Are you looking to go bigger on the bigger jumps and get out of the small park? Like, are you looking to take the next step in skill level? And then I would definitely demo a board. But CT says collab video with TJ. It's going to happen eventually. I actually rode with him today, but I was making videos with somebody. He was making a product review, and we just haven't really collabed yet. It will happen eventually. He's becoming more of like a cool friend dude that I want to hang out with, and not just, let me put me in your video. You know, I don't want to be that guy. I want to get to know the dude and just like have a good time for sure. So, well, on that note, my dudes, you guys are amazing. It's been absolutely sick. If you guys want to purchase a sticker, remember, if you buy a sticker in the next 24 hours, starting at 7 o'clock till tomorrow at 7 o'clock, I'm going to add a free sticker in there. So it's buy one, get one free. The link is going to be in the description below. Buy a sticker at the sticker store. I have all sorts of really cool stickers if you guys are looking for stickers for your boards. And then tag me on Instagram. We just hit 75,000 followers on Instagram. Tag me on Instagram. I'll share it on my story. Give you guys some love. And just a big old thank you for this. Stephen G says, kicking in dollars for all of your answers for new riders. Let's go, dude. Stephen, thank you so much. And good luck with the finding the homie out in Tahoe. There's some incredible instructors out there. I just don't know any of them like personally, dear to my heart, you know. So, all right, guys, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. All of you are awesome. And on that note, I'm gonna end that there. I'm gonna go to sleep. Try to go snowboard tomorrow. Nothing but love. We out. The awkward moment of trying to end this thing.